Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I'm back here with another topic of discussion for the upcoming Assam TET 2021, especially for the upper primary level. And today I'll discuss about the Ahom Dynasty from Assam history for the social science section. So today in this video I'll discuss about the origin of Ahom, the advent of Ahom, genealogy of Ahom kings and their pet names, important posts or titles created during Ahom rule, and about Ahom coins also, and the Mughal invasion in Assam and the treaty signed between them, between Ahom and Mughal, and also the Maumur rebellion, and also some important points I have highlighted about pike system, and lastly, I have picked some important questions and their answers. So, first of all, let's discuss about the origin of Ahom. Here I have mentioned the date or the year, that is 1228 to 1826. This is the duration that Ahom ruled in Assam. So firstly, they were the offshoots of great Thai populations in the Southeast Asia. So the Ahom believed to be one of the great Thai populations that are found in Southeast Asia, and they were believed to be the inhabitant of Kowloon state, northern Burma. Presently, it is known as Myanmar, and also the southern Yunnan province of China. So, they belong to be the great tribe populations in the southern Asia, and they are originally found as an inhabitant of Kowloon state, that is northern Burma, presently known as Myanmar, and southern Yunnan province of China. These points may be remembered for the exam point of view. Myanmar, northern Burma, and also the southern Yunnan province of China. And here I would like to mention that here I would like to mention that Ahom have different appellations. Ahom have different names known in different Southeast Asian countries. They were known as Shan in Myanmar. They were known as Shan in Myanmar. Secondly, they were known as Thai in Thailand. Thai in Thailand. They were known as Dai. They were known as Dai in China. They were known as Dai in China, and they were also known as Lao in Laos. So these are the different names or different appellations of Ahom in Southeast Asian country. So next move on. That is the advent of Ahom. So the Ahom came from Myanmar and crossed Patkai Hills and entered Brahmaputra Valley in 1228 CE. So they came from Myanmar and they crossed Patkai Hills. Now let me tell you that Patkai Hills is now in Nagaland. Patkai Hill is now in Nagaland. That means firstly they come from Myanmar, then they crossed Nagaland, and finally they entered Brahmaputra Valley, that is in Assam. They entered Brahmaputra Valley in Assam in 1228 CE. This is the year that we need to remember. And the founder of the Ahom dynasty is none other than the Malung Sukapa. He was the first king of Ahom dynasty, and they ruled Assam for almost how many years? 600 years. They ruled Assam for almost 600 years with the reign of more than 40 kings. So this is the migration history of Assam. Firstly, they came from China. First, second to Myanmar and settled here. And third, they crossed Nagaland. And fourthly, they came to Assam in 1228 CE. So this is the migration history of Assam that we need to remember. Three names: China, Myanmar, and Nagaland. And finally, they settled here in Assam for almost 600 years. Next is the genealogy of Ahom king. These are the names I have collected. These are the names I have collected here. The complete list of Ahom kings starting from Sakafa and ended here in Purandar Singha, the last king of Ahom Dynasty. You can take the screenshot of it so that you can note down. Next, points of discussion, that is Ahom kings and their pet name. Ahom kings and their pet names. So, Sudangpa is known as Bamuni Kaur. Suklingmung is known as Gorgaya Raja. This we need to remember all these points. Susenpa, Pratapingha or Bura Raja. Sutamla, Jaida Singha or Bhagonia Raja. Supangmung, Chakra Singha, the other names or pet names Suhungmung, Sorganarayan and Dihingya Raja. This is most important. Most of the time it is asked in the examination. Name the first king who took the title of Sorganarayan, this Hindu title of Ahom dynasty. Then the answers would be Suhungmung. Then Sukampa, Khora Raja or Lem Raja. Sutinpa, Noria Raja or Kekora Raja. Surampa is known as Bhoga Raja. Suklampa with the name of Brahmda Singha is pet name. Then Sulikpa, Lora Raja. Sutapa, Godapani. Supatpa, that is Godapani or Godarhingha, other names. Then Sukrungpa, Rudrahingha, the pet names. Sutampa, Sivasingha. Sunenpa, Pramatahingha. Surempa, Sarajasarhingha. So these are the pet names of Ahom kings that we need to remember for the exam point of view. So next, move on to a discussion, that is important titles or posts created by Ahom kings. Firstly, let's talk about Pratapingha. He has created different posts: Borpukon, Borborua, Ajorika, Soikya, and Bora. These points are to be remembered. These are associated with Pratapingha. And Sorganarayan, that is Suhungmung, that Borpatra Gohai, Sodia Khoa Gohai. These two posts are created under the reign of or during the reign of Suhungmung, that is Sorganarayan, and finally Sukapa, that is Borgohai and Bura Guhai. Bor Guhai and Bora Guhai. One is Bor Guhai, another is Bora Guhai. These two names are, or these two posts are created during the reign of Sukapa. So here some question may be asked: who created the post Borpatra Guhai and Sudekwa Guhai? Answers will be Sarganarayan. Who created the post of Borpukon, Borburua? The answers will be Pratapingha. And who created Bor Guhai and Borha Guhai? The answers will be Sukapa. So these questions are important, and most significantly, this Borpatra Guhai and Sudekwa Guhai is being asked in the examination. So let's move to another topic of discussion. There is Ahom coins. Ahom coins are octagonal in shape. This is to be remembered. Earliest coin of Ahom bear that equivalent to 1543 CE. 1543 CE. The first Ahom coin was created by Joydhas Singha. Joydhas Singha. This important point we need to remember. The first Ahom coin was introduced by Joydhas Singha. So the year may be mentioned here is 1543 CE. The Ahom king associated with gold currency, firstly Suklingmu and secondly Udayditya. These two names are to be remembered or highlighted in our mind. And fourthly, regular gold currency. So we need to remember that regular gold currency was introduced by Siva Hingha during the reign of Siva Hingha. The regular gold currency was introduced. And thirdly, the octagonal coin with Sanskrit legend was issued by whom? Lakshmi Sinha in 1770 CE. So these are the important points to be remembered. Firstly, these questions are most of the time examinations. So how is the shape of Ahom coin? Then answer will be octagonal, and they were known as taka. The Ahom coins are or were known with the name taka, and they are octagonal in shape. So earliest coin of Ahom was found in 1453 during the reign of Joydhas Singha, and regular gold currencies associated with the name of Siva Singha. So these are the points we need to remember. Some important points. Let's discuss here. First capital of Ahom, that is Saraidev. The last capital Ahom, Jorhat. Last king of Ahom, Purandar Hingha. First king, of course, Sukapa. That we need to remember, the founder of Ahom dynasty. Then Ahom king made his capital at Bogota near Dihing, that is Suhumung. That's why he is also known as he was also known as Dihingya Roja. Then first ever census made by Ahom king Suhumung. Suhumung did the first ever census during the Ahom Dynasty, and Sankardev preached his new faith, that is new Vaishnavism during the reign of Suhumung. So these questions are important. That who made the first census, or by which Ahom king the first census ever made? So the answers will be Suhumung. And during which reign of Ahom king Sankardev preached his new faith, that is new Vaishnavism? So the answers will be Suhumung. Next point. Ahom king who celebrated Rikuan ceremony. Ahom king who celebrated Rikuan ceremony, the answer is Suklingmung. So here when we talk about Rikuan ceremony, it is celebrated when new king is installed. When new king is installed. When new king is installed, and it is celebrated for having a long life. For having a long life. For having a long life. One is for when new king is installed, and secondly when the king wanted a long life, then this requiem ceremony is celebrated, and thirdly in order to escape from danger. So these 3 points are to be remembered with respect to the recon ceremony. When recon ceremony is celebrated, the answers will be when new king is installed, and when the king wanted a long life, and when he wanted to escape from danger or any threat. So these 3 points are the reason behind the celebration of recon ceremony during the time of Suklingmung. So the account of Suklingmung associated with the excavation of Gorgai Tank and the construction of Nagar Ali Road. So next point of discussion is Treaty of Asrar Ali. It was signed in 1639 CE during Susengpa, that is Pratap Singha reign. It was signed between Ahom and Mughal. It was signed between Ahom and Mughal. Next, Treaty of Gildhari Ghat. It was signed in 23rd January 1663 CE. The year is most important, we need to remember that. Secondly, it was signed between Ahom and Mir Jumla. Who was Mir Jumla? The answer is Commander-in-Chief of Mughal army of Aurangzeb. So, the Treaty of Gildarighat was signed between Ahom and Mughal. It was signed, the Treaty of Gildarighat was signed after Ahom was being defeated by Mughal army in the year 1662. So, it was during the reign of Sutamla, that is Jaidhas Singha. So, these are a few points. I am not detailing it, but important points that I have collected here to be remembered for the exam point of view. Firstly, when was the Gildhari Ghat Treaty was signed? The answer is 1663 CE, that is 23rd January. And between whom? Between Ahom and Mughal, or Mir Jumla. Who was Mir Jumla? Then a commander-in-chief of Mughal army of the Aurangzeb. And when it was signed? During the reign of Sutamla, that is Jaidhas Singha. Next, most importantly, the Battle of Saraighat. So here also I am not detailing about the Battle of Saraighat, but I have collected some important informations which are important for the exam point of view. It was fought in the year 1671. In the year 1671 to recover Guwahati from the hands of Mughal. So Ahom army was led by Atanu Borgohai Dangoria with the help of Lasit Borphukan. These two names are important. These are to be highlighted or remembered. One is Atanu Borgohai Dangoria and the other is Lasit Borphukan with respect to the Ahom army during the Battle of Saraighat. And secondly, the Mughal army was led by Ram Singh. Mughal army was led by Ram Singh. These are the names to be remembered with respect to Battle of Saraighat. So when was the Battle of Saraighat fought? Answer is 1671. And who led Ahom army? That is Atanu Dangoria Borgohai Dangoria with the help of Lasit Borphukan. And who led the Mughal army? That is Ram Singh. And Ahom defeated Mughal army. Ahom defeated. That means Ahom become Ahom become victorious in the battle of Saraighat. In the battle of Saraighat. So these points are to be remembered. Next is Battle of Itakuli. It was the second war fought by Ahom against Mughal. Fought on 1682 CE during the reign of Gadadhar Singha. Ahom defeated a Mughal army led by Mansur Khan, and thus Ahom recovered Kamrupa. These are the points to be remembered. Firstly, when was the Battle of Itakali fought? 1682. First important points. And between whom? Between Ahom and Mughal. During which reign? That is Gadadhar Singha. And who lead Mughal army? The answer is Mansur Khan. And after a battle of Itakuli, Ahom able to recover Kamrupa. Ahom able to recover Kamrupa. Next, account of Gadadhar Singha was associated with. So all of us know that about the Peacock Island, that is Umananda Island. They are in Guwahati. So this construction of Umananda Devalaya is associated with whom? Associated with the account of Gadadhar Singha. And construction of Dodhar Ali near Golaghat is also associated with the account of Gadadhar Singha. And lastly, most importantly, land survey system and its measurement. Land survey system and its measurement was done for the first time during the Ahom Dynasty. It was Gadadhar Singha. Gadadhar Singha did the first land survey system with its measurement. Next is Maurya rebellion. I'm not detailing about the rebellion, but I have picked some important points that the rebellion started during the reign of Lakshmi Sinha and ended during the reign of Kamlesar Singha. So these two Ahom kings names are to be remembered. One is Lakshmi Singha and the another is Kamlesar Singha. So from 1769 to 1865 CE, Ahom and this rebellion took place between Ahom and Maurya. Maurya mainly belonged to the Motok and Kachari adherents of the Maurya Satra. So first rebellion took place in 1769, second rebellion took place in 1782, and third rebellion took place in 1786. The 3 years, these 3 years are important to be remembered for exam point of view. First, when was the first Maurya rebellion took place? That is 1769. Second, 1782, and thirdly is the 1786. So these are a few important points I have collected for exam purpose with respect to the Maurya rebellion. So move on to the next point of discussion, that is pike system. So firstly, the question is who were pikes? So pikes were the people or the male community between the age of 16 to 50 who was not a noble, priest, a high class, or a slave. They were not a noble, priest, high class, and a slave. And these people are known as Paik during Ahom kingdom, during the rule of Ahom dynasty. So, what were the duty of Pikes? The Pikes have to render service to the Ahom state. They have to render service with the Ahom state. It may be civil duty or it may be military duty, but they have to render those services for the Ahom kings, and in exchange of this, they were granted 2 puras of or 2.66 acre of land for cultivation owned by the kingdom. The pikes have to render service, and in exchange, they were given some piece of the land for cultivations. So these are the duty of pikes. And who were pikes? Pikes were every male during Ahom kingdom between the age of 16 to 50 who was not a noble, priest, high caste, or a slave. And thirdly, who introduced the pike system. This is the most importantly for the exam perspective. That is, it was introduced by Momai Tamli Borburua under the patronage of Pratap Singha. These two names are to be kept in our mind. Firstly, Mumai Tamali Borburua, and secondly, Pratap Singha. These two persons are associated with the introduction of pike system during Ahom rule in Assam. So these are a few points about I have discussed with respect to the pike system. So when we are asked about who introduced pike system, Momai Tamali Borburua under the patronage of Pratap Singha. So I have picked some important questions. which I think it is required to be discussed. Firstly, who was the first king to assume the Hindu title Sargonarian? As I have discussed before also, it is none other than Suhungmu. And who was Sudhya Gohai? And it is frontier officer during the Ahom rule. And this post was created by Suhungmu. Suhung Mung. Then thirdly, by whom the office of Borburwa and Borpukon was created? The answer is Pratap Singha, as we have discussed earlier in this video. And fourthly, who made the initial construction of Ronghor? Initial construction of Ronghor was done by Rudrahingha during the reign of Rudrahingha. And who was completed Ronghor? Who completed Ronghor? The answer is Pramata Hingha. So these two names are to be kept in our mind. One is Rudrahingha and other is Pramatahingha with respect to the construction of Rangha. Pramatahingha completed the construction of Ranghar and Rudrahingha did the initial construction. Sixth question, who was the last independent Ahom king? The answer is Purandar Hingha. He was the 41st king of Ahom. He was the 41st king of Ahom. So these are some important questions. So we'll move to the next questions. That is question number 7. Who designed the pike system in Ahom kingdom? The answer is Mumai Tamili Borborua. Mumai Tamili Borborua. Number 8. When was the Battle of Itapali fought? 1682 CE. Number 9. By what name the coin during Ahom was known as? It is Taka. And we all have come to know that the Ahom coin is octagonal octagonal in shape. This we need to remember. And 10 question, who was the first to start the land survey system in Assam? That is Godadhar Ingho. So 11 question, who was the first Ahom king to introduce coin? The answer is Jaidhar Singha. And lastly, the 12 questions, in which year Sukapa established his capital at Sraido? The answer is 1253 CE. So, dear friends, these are the few points I have gathered and bring them before you for the exam pointer purposes. Thank you.